welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to build a number guessing game using Python and tkinter. This game generates a random number between 0 and 50, lets the user guess it, and gives smart feedback like too high, too low, or even close. The code is in description. Let's jump straight into the code. First, we import the libraries we need. We import tkinter for the graphical user interface and random to generate a random number for the game. Next, we set up our game variables. We generate a random number between 0 and 50, initialize an attempts counter, and define a close threshold. This threshold allows us to tell the player when their guess is close to the correct number. Now we create the main application window. We set the title, window size, background color, and disable resizing to keep the layout clean. This gives our game a modern, dark-themed appearance. Next, we add the instruction label at the top of the window. This tells the user to guess a number between 0 and 50. Then we create an entry box where the player types their guess. Below that, we add a result label that will display messages like too high, too low, or correct. We also add an attempts label to keep track of how many guesses the user has made. To organize our buttons, we create a frame. This helps keep the layout clean and centered. Now comes the core logic of the game, the check guess function. First, we get the value from the entry box and make sure it's a valid number. If the user enters something invalid, we display an error message and stop the function. If the input is valid, we convert it to an integer and increase the attempt counter. We then calculate the difference between the guess number and the correct number. If the guess is exactly correct, we display a success message. If the guess is close, meaning it's within 5 numbers of the answer, we give the player a helpful hint telling them whether the number is higher or lower. Otherwise, we tell the user if their guess is too high or too low. After every guess, we clear the entry box so the user can try again. Next, we create the guess button, which calls the check guess function when clicked. This allows the user to submit their guess using the mouse. We also add a restart function. This generates a new random number, resets the attempt counter, clears all messages, and lets the player start over without restarting the program. The restart button is linked to the restart function so the game can reset instantly. We also bind the enter key to the guess function, allowing the user to submit guesses using the keyboard. Finally, we call window.mainLoop, which keeps the application running. And that's it. You now have a fully functional tkinter number guessing game with smart hints, attempt tracking, and a clean user interface. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.